I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, that ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, that ain't no stopping me. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, that ain't no stopping me.
Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Is that it? Testing, testing. Hey, there we go. There we go. Hey, better late than never. We got it. All right. See, this is why you got to keep the routine going. I haven't made a live in a while. I come back trying to get back on track, and I immediately run into some technical issues. Haven't dealt with that in a while, huh? Had some mic issues here, but we're here. The good thing about live is y'all can come in the room, come on back. So hopefully people will see I got my mic up and running, because I had some folks in the room earlier. They saw I was having some issues and they dipped out, but they'll come back. It's all good. It's all gravy. And I'll probably chop this video up, edit it a little bit to give my viewers a bit of a streamlined highlight, but that's neither here nor there. What's going on, y'all? Can I get a round of applause? Hey, salute to y'all who had the patience to rock with me while I figured that out. I appreciate everyone who enjoys the content here. Do me a favor, be sure to hit the thumbs up button to support the channel. And as always, smash the subscribe button for a wide range of topics and content. With that being said, let's get into it. Tonight, we are talking about Joe Biden. We've got about 6 weeks left. We've got about 6 weeks left in the presidential, before the Donald Trump takes office. We've got about 6 weeks before Donald Trump takes office, and it's a new year. And Joe Biden is scrambling to get some last minute policies implemented. And now that he's lost, hey, he's effectively a lame duck president. We see he went ahead shamelessly pardoned his son, his crackhead son, Hunter Biden. You ask me, you let me tell it. I think there was so much corruption between that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, that Biden family in Ukraine. I think there's so much corruption going on between the Biden family and Ukraine. Hunter Biden had no reason to be on the head of an energy board getting $250,000 every year for a sector of industry he knows nothing about, in a foreign country he knows nothing about. And as soon as Joe Biden is elected into office, all of a sudden a war breaks out between Ukraine and Russia, and we have to fund them and give them, funnel to them, launder to them hundreds of billions of dollars. That is not a coincidence. That is not a coincidence. And Joe Biden shamelessly, because I believe he was involved, he says, hey, I'm going to pardon my son for all crimes, past and present, charged and not charged. It's crazy. They're not even trying to hide the nepotism anymore. They're not even hiding the nepotism. They're not even hiding the corruption. It's right out in the open, right out in your face. Now, these are the same people who swore up and down lawfare was not happening, the judicial branch is impartial. They were going after Donald Trump for all types of, they gave him how many, 34 felony counts for really the same act? Mislabeling funds that went to Stormy Daniels. Donald Trump didn't get pardoned for that yet. People were defending that case. People had no problem with that case. When it comes to Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, all of a sudden, oh okay, got you, heard you. But as always, we have some clips we're gonna play. I'm glad I was able to get my mic working. This is me. We're getting back into the swing of things with these lives. I gotta get back into the routine. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Let's check out a few clips. So this is what I'm referring to when I say that Joe Biden has decided to pardon his son, Hunter Biden. I'm going to play this clip and come back with some more thoughts. Check it out.
Overnight, President Biden not answering questions as he boarded Air Force One for an overseas trip to Africa. It comes just hours after he signed a full and unconditional pardon for his son Hunter Biden, saying in a written statement that the facts of the cases show, quote, Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong. Adding, in trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me. Enough is enough.
And notice, he said, oh, they were singling out my son. But he didn't say that his son didn't do it. He didn't say, oh, my son was innocent. He didn't say my son was innocent, my son was coerced, he was acting on behalf of the government. No. He says, yeah, my son did it, but he shouldn't be prosecuted because he was my son. He's being singled out. Come on now. This is the same guy who had no problem throwing those crime bills on the black community. Now your crackhead son is over here lying, getting guns, lying on gun forms, which is a federal crime, which is a felony. He's lying on gun forms, smoking crack and buying guns at the same time. And Joe Biden has a pardon for that. But when it comes to the black community, guns don't even have to be involved. He's ready to throw black people in cages and throw away the key. Talking about super predators. While his son is the one smoking crack in his own family. Let's continue.
The pardon sweeping, covering offenses that Hunter Biden, quote, has committed or may have committed or taken part in over the past 11 years, including but not limited to all offenses charged or prosecuted. Hunter Biden was scheduled to be sentenced this month for his conviction on federal gun charges and separately for a criminal case in which he pleaded guilty to federal tax evasion. The pardon, a striking...
Already found guilty. He already pled guilty, so he's not contesting it. They're not saying, oh, he didn't do it, he was innocent, there are extenuating circumstances. No, he did it. He's a crackhead. He's buying guns. He's evading taxes. He's getting paid because of corruption. He's getting paid on the energy board of Ukraine because of corruption and nepotism. They don't deny it. We're just going to pardon him. What are you going to do? He's a lame duck president. Get over it.
Reversal for the president.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes, I will not pardon him.
White House aides, even after the election, had also repeatedly said Biden would not pardon his son.
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
But as NBC News first reported, the president did decide to reverse course over the holiday weekend at his family's annual Thanksgiving getaway in Nantucket. In a statement, Hunter Biden writing, "I will never take the clemency I've been given today for granted." President-elect Trump, meanwhile, questioning whether Biden would pardon those imprisoned for the January 6th attack on the Capitol, writing on social media, such an abuse and miscarriage of justice. Many Republicans blasting the president's decision. Senator Tom Cotton arguing most Americans can sympathize with the father's decision to pardon his son, even if they disagree. What they can't forgive is Biden lying about it repeatedly before the election.
Right.
Also,
that's a key, though. That's a key. Come on now. It's his son. We know his son's a crackhead. Hey, it's your son. You happen to be the president. Who's not going to use their power and their influence to save their son? Okay, fine. Is it right? No, but hey, that's family. I get it. I get it. But he was saying when he was still running for president, when the Democrats still had a chance, he was like, oh no, we're all for fairness and democracy and the rule of law. We're tough on crime. We're here we're following the norms. We have well instituted norms and separation of powers. Yes, it's a conflict of interest. I'm the president, but I can't pardon my son even because he's been proven to be a crackhead, a drug addict. I'm not going to pardon my son because we respect the rule of law. We respect the separation of powers. But as soon as he became a lame duck president, yeah, forget all that. Forget all those morals and philosophies and all those principles we were standing on. It's his politics, baby. It's like Kamala Harris when she was saying Joe Biden is a racist and Joe Biden was against integration in California and Kamala Harris was so affected and she was so hurt by Joe Biden's actions back in the 60s and 70s. And then as soon as Joe Biden said, hey, you want to be my VP? She's like, oh, yeah, those are politics. Come on, it was politics. We were running a campaign. The campaign's over. Now we can do whatever we want to do. We can do whatever we want to do. The campaign time is over.
Facing criticism from some Democrats, including Colorado Governor Jared Polis, who wrote he understood Biden's motivations as a father, but, quote, I am disappointed that he put his family ahead of his country.
Gabe, we recall during the campaign, Trump made an issue of Hunter Biden and said that at his second term, he would want to investigate and prosecute the Biden family. So what does this mean as a practical matter? President-elect Trump coming in January 20th, is there anything he can do in that regard?
Well, Savannah, legal experts say the language in this pardon is the most sweeping we've seen in decades, ever since Nixon's pardon in the 70s. Rather than just pardon Hunter Biden for specific gun and tax crimes, this covers him from a Trump Justice Department reopening any criminal investigations. Over the last several years, Trump has argued that the Justice Department has become politicized. And with this pardon, Biden now seems to agree, Savannah.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Okay, so there you go. Joe Biden has officially pardoned his son, his crackhead son, Hunter Biden. He's got the family pass. And like I said, I think because, as they were mentioning at the end of that clip, they made it wide. They made it the language of his pardon very overarching. They didn't say he is granted clemency, for example, for his gun charges or any drug crimes. They said specifically anything in the past 10, 11 years, any crimes whatsoever, he has a pardon for. And I think that was to insulate him in case Donald Trump wants to press on that laptop. Because I think there's where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's a lot of smoke around the Bidens and the Ukraine. I think the whole sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine is nothing more than a laundering scheme. They're stealing taxpayer-funded money, and Zelensky is getting rich. Let's be real. That's Zelensky and the Bidens. The Bidens got their influence, they got their power and influence in Ukraine, and Zelensky's getting rich. Shout out to Mitch Sledge, salute. Yeah, Mitch Sledge stuck it out with me because I was having some mic issues. Mitch Sledge says, oh, you got your mic working, cool. I think both parties are hypocrites. Trump pardoned family and Biden pardoned his son. Yeah, absolutely. They both are. And you know me, Mitch, you've been here long enough. I'm not riding for Trump or for the Biden or for the Democrats. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm an independent. So I'm approaching these things as an outside party. I just think it's ironic the way that they'll lie to you during the campaigns. And as soon as the elections are over, that's when you'll see the truth. And while we're on the topic, like I said, Joe Biden has about 6 weeks left in office. So he's trying to get some last minute things taken care of here. I don't know if you noticed, Mitch, I don't know if you heard about this, but Joe Biden announced a ceasefire with Hezbollah. Did you hear about that, Mitch? Did you hear about that? Joe Biden announced that he was able to orchestrate a ceasefire between Lebanon and Israel. Now, we know that Israel carried out that cyber attack against Hezbollah when I reported on that, they blew up the beepers, right? They blew up the beepers, and that took out a lot of the Hezbollah leadership. Not only that, they killed the leader of Hezbollah, which is Lebanon's military group. They killed the leader, Nasrallah. So a lot of the leadership, a lot of the military structure in Lebanon was collapsing. Now, we know Donald Trump has a vendetta against Iran. Donald Trump wants to get into office and unleash Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel and let them run rampant in the Middle East. Meanwhile, Donald Trump wants to calm down and settle the war in Ukraine. here's the thing. Here's the current situation. Joe Biden and the Democrats want war both in Ukraine and in Israel. But they know that they're leaving office. They know that Trump wants war in the Middle East, but Trump doesn't want war in Ukraine. He doesn't want war in Europe. So what Joe Biden is doing is he's sabotaging the Trump administration before he even takes office. What Joe Biden is doing is he's trying to give the Gaza people, he's trying to give the people in Lebanon, here's an out. Hey, let's settle this war before Trump takes office, because once Trump takes office, it's not going to be good for you. So you better come get some peace while you can get it right now. Now in Ukraine, knowing that Donald Trump has the desire to settle that war and come to a peace negotiation, Joe Biden is exacerbating. He's provoking more war there. He's allowing Ukraine to launch long-range missiles into Russia, which Vladimir Putin has already said would be a red line. Now, as always, I come with some receipts. Let's check out a few clips, and then I'll come back with some more thoughts. Check this out.
لكن هذه حال الحرب أيضا.
Hezbollah has confirmed the death of its
لكن هذه حال
longtime leader Hassan Nasrallah after Israel bombed the group's headquarters in Beirut. The strikes left several dead and dozens more injured. Footage shows strikes continuing through the night where Israel targeted buildings that reportedly housed Hezbollah leaders. This morning, we officially announced the elimination of Hassan Nasrallah, head of the terror organization Hezbollah, for the past 30 years, in a precise strike of the Air Force intelligence. So I want to mute him so I'll read it for you guys. For the past 30 years, in a precise strike of the Air Force, Intelligence Branch and Operational Command yesterday at Deha in Beirut, Netanyahu's office released a photo they show Prime Minister approving the strike from a hotel room before a speech at the UN. Israel has recently shifted its focus from Gaza to Lebanon, with hundreds of people killed in recent attacks. The Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah has exchanged fire with Israel. Since the start of the Gaza war in October 7th Hamas attack last year. All right. So that is announcing the killing of Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of the Hezbollah group in Lebanon. That's what I just showed. So he's dead. The leadership in Hezbollah is collapsing. The cyber attack that Israel carried off, although it was a war crime and the ICC has put out a warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu's arrest. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about the lighting there. The ICC has put out an arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu's arrest because he has committed war crimes, to include the cyber attacks, the indiscriminate attacks on Gaza and on Lebanon at this point. So they're looking for peace. They're like, look, Lebanon, the Hezbollah is collapsing. Our leadership is done. You're going to have a new leadership. Donald Trump's taking office. We know Donald Trump is interested and willing to expand the war in the Middle East. So Lebanon's like, Hezbollah is like, fine, we'll take the ceasefire. We'll take it while we still have the chance. Joe Biden is saying, hey, Lebanon has a ceasefire. Hopefully we can get one done with Gaza before Trump takes office. Because if Trump takes office and this war between Israel and Gaza is still raging, Donald Trump is going to unleash them. Donald Trump is going to take the gloves off, unleash Benjamin Netanyahu, and possibly provoke a broader war with Iran in the region. That's the Democrats' concern, right? Now, what we do know about Donald Trump is he is against the war in Europe. He's against the Ukraine-Russia war. So what Joe Biden does on that front is, instead of calming the war down in Ukraine, he's decided to what? Exacerbate it. He's decided to allow Zelensky to use long-range missiles deep within the heart of Russia. Let me play this clip. They're using up all the money. Here, let me play this clip to give you some context. Check this out.
Do everything in our power.
Okay, so just so you know, this is Secretary of National Defense, Lloyd.
Well, first,
Not
what
Lloyd
I'm
Austin,
saying is
but-
we are going to do everything in our power for these 50 days to get Ukraine all the tools we possibly.
Jake Sullivan, White House National Security Advisor.
Well, first, what I'm saying is we are going to do everything in our power for these 50 days to get Ukraine all the tools we possibly can to strengthen their position on the battlefield so that they'll be stronger at the negotiating table. And President Biden directed me to oversee a massive surge in the military equipment that we are delivering to Ukraine so that we have spent every dollar that Congress has appropriated to us by the time that President Biden leaves office. So that's first and foremost what we're focused on. And then I've encouraged the Ukrainian team to engage the incoming team as well as to engage all of our allies and partners because, again, on January 21st, the war in Ukraine doesn't just go away. Obviously, the new team will have its own policy, its own approach, and I can't speak to that. But what I can do is make sure that we put Ukraine in the best possible position when we hand off the baton.
Okay. So you heard from Jake Sullivan. The National Security Advisor. He said that he got direct orders from Joe Biden to spend all the Ukraine funding that they've been appropriated. Spend it all. Spend it all. Hey, fire sale. Give away all our weapons. Give them all away. Hurry up before Donald Trump takes office and we get some peace. Make sure we spend all the money. Burn it. Burn the money. Spend it. Give it away. Right? They are fire sale prices. They're giving it away because they know the new regime is going to bring whole new policies. So Joe Biden's on his way out. He's got about 6 weeks left. He's making some last-ditch efforts to undermine the Donald Trump administration. And I'm going to leave it to you guys. What do you think? Do you think Donald Trump has a chance of bringing in an era of peace? Or do you think he's going to expand the military excursions in the Middle East? What do you think? Shout out to Mitch Sledge. Mitch says, yeah, it's interesting, it's surprising. I think he's talking about what's interesting. I've talked a lot here. You said that's interesting and surprising. I think he's talking about Hanan Nasrallah, the Lebanon leader of Hezbollah, getting killed. So yeah, guys, those are just a few developments that I've been taking a look at. Those are some developments I've been keeping my eyes on. There's a lot going on. Joe Biden's getting ready to leave office. I'm going to get back into the habit of going live. I've tried to change up the format of our videos a little bit, put some more edited content out. I'm in the process of rebranding somewhat. I've got a book that I'm writing, so I'm juggling a lot of things here, guys. I appreciate y'all bearing with me and all that, especially Mitch Sledge. Mitch Sledge has been a long time writer, you know, active in the comment section. I really like when y'all talk to me. Y'all put something in the comment section. Let me know I'm not just out here talking to myself. So shout out and salute to Mitch Sledge. Alright, it's getting late. It's 11:30. Let me go check on my boy, check on my son, make sure the family's good before I call it a night. If y'all made it this far in the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. And if it's your first time watching, or if you haven't done so before, smash the subscribe button. More content just like this. We're talking about news, politics, current events. There's a lot going on in the world, and we got a lot to talk about, guys. We got a lot to talk about. So be sure to subscribe and come on back. We got a lot to talk about, and I appreciate y'all's support as we do so. I'll see you on the next one. Hey.